So this is what your 2-page layout would look like at the end of the video. And I think you just want to take a look at how amazing this looks. There is so much dimension, a little bit of glitter here and there, and it's really gonna be a fun project for you to finish, and I think that's amazing. So in your kit, which we have mailed to you, it kind of looks like this. We've got your instructions. It's all in a fun little bag. So let me just move my sample out of the way. And you're gonna do a lot of fun different things. I think that's so cool that we're able to still give you this class-like experience, and you get to see it up close instead of squinting from the back of the classroom. So I have my instructions right here. I've got this cute little packet. You'll be seeing about these things in a little bit. Here's a thank you card for supporting us. I'm gonna put that aside. Here's your little note about your class video. I've got some flowers, some more flowers. Just making sure that everything's in your kit. It's that cute little, where are we? That cute little treasured memories title. I've got, oh, one of our cute little buttons that we give out when we're teaching. I got Creative Creations. That's super cute. All right, and our layered embellishments and our 49 & Market Ethereal collection. Now, 49 & Market, if you haven't learned or heard about, is an amazing company. So that is who made our collection, our layered embellishments, and our flowers. So that's so nice. And our paper, you'll see, is very thick paper that will take all the things that we're gonna layer on and glue on, and it will still stay that tough paper that we need. And that's super cool. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to first pile up our things, and I'll get our instructions out. All right, so I laid out what's included. So first with our trimmer, so we're gonna first need to open up this guy right here. So let me open up our paper. I'm always moving my stuff around because I like to make sure there's clear area to do something. So I'm just opening up my paper. And I can take all the sheets out. And I always like to keep this little packet because you never know what kind of loose extras you got. You just put them back in your packet. All right, that's the cover. So we are looking for the Daydream paper. Let's see. And the names are at the bottom. So there's a View from Above, Whisper, Daydream. There it is. That is such a pretty, there's a cute little bicycle, some fun little flowers here. So that is super nice. So we're going to cut off the barcode strip from this one and from A View from Above, which is this one. And the barcode strip is that little title strip at the bottom. So we're just cutting that off with our trimmer. And I like to use the Fiskars Sure-Cut trimmer just because it has this little string in the middle that lets you see exactly where the blade's gonna go, just for extra accuracy. So we do sell those if you're looking for an awesome trimmer. Now, a lot of times on her papers, like you'll see here, I flipped this barcode strip over and there's a design on the back. So that can become some border piece that you use on a later on something. So you don't always need to throw these out because they've got cute little designs that can be tied in. So that's a cute little tip there. And I'll cut off the other one. And I'm kind of OCD about my cutting, so it takes a minute to make sure I got it right on the spots. All right, so we've got those two done. So now we're on step 2. With the trimmer, you're going to cut 2 photo mats from the inside of the layered embellishments cover sheet. So what this is your layered your layered embellishment sheet is this. So these are embellishments that already have the pop dots behind them, and that's such a cool thing that you'll see that they are plastic pieces and you'll be able to pick them up and put them where they go. So you'll see about that, but these are amazing. Our layered embellishments here, you'll see it says ethereal at the top. That matches the paper collection that we just opened. That's how you know that these pieces are going to match and work flawlessly with the paper. So I'm going to open this up. And this is kind of like a tricky trick, I think, using this as like a bonus sheet of paper, which is what we're going to do with our photo mats. So I open this up, and all the pieces are actually on this thin little piece here. So we'll move that aside. And then we've got this whole blank page that can be used. And it's already printed like it's an actual paper. So I think that's awesome. So here we're gonna cut 2 photo mats from this one that measure 5.5 by 4.5. So and I'm not gonna worry about the flat piece. I'll just start at the bottom. And these are our photo mats to match, to make a border around our photos. So it doesn't really matter where you start, because it's pretty much gonna be this blush pink color unless you're looking for more of these green speckles. But that's not totally important right now. So I'm gonna go 5.5 by 4.5. So I'll put this in to 5.5. Oh, actually, go the other way. 5.5. All right, and then 4.5. And because we're using that backer, this is going to be a really sturdy photo mat that you'll see. And you're going to put pop dots, so you won't even see that that was there underneath. So it's a little trick there again. All right, put this away. So with these, we are going to pop dot these onto layout 2, letting the corners overlap. So layout 2 is going to be the paper with our key right here. And to make it look like this right here, do you see how they're just overlapping a little bit? And it's kind of in the middle of the paper in general. And we're using our pop dots. So we're gonna do them just like that onto ours. And yours are not sparkly yet like this with the pink, because we're gonna put these down first before we make it awesome. So let me put my pop dots on the back of these 2 pieces. And I just use any really old pop dots that are sitting around. And for some reason, I just happened to grab the tiniest pop dots I ever owned. And I'll put these on here. And the nice thing about this video is I think if I go too fast, you should be able to pause it. Now I'm only gonna try to put pop dots I got my corners, but also near the middle, because I'm gonna try to tuck stuff behind this photo mat. And if you want it to be easy and breezy, I'm just putting pop dots down the middle here. So let me uncover these. It'll make sense later when we start putting stuff in. They just don't want to come off my hand. And I don't usually do a full-on kit in class. So this is kind of interesting because it's been a while since I made our sample. So first we're going to put down this one. And I don't want to cover up my lantern here. So just right there. There's not too much specific information on that one. So just a little bit from the lantern and a little bit from the top. And then we got these one. It's not really an exact science with the photo mats, but it's all the other decorations. And the one thing about photo mats is, though, when we do our projects, is it usually determines the rest of your, where the rest of your project is gonna go. And I know that sounds scary, but that just means everyone's is gonna look different. So if you're doing this with another friend, you'll still get 2 beautiful layouts that will just a little bit look different. All right, and that's pretty good. I didn't want to overlap it too much, but there's still room. And because these are easy small pop dots, when I put my picture in, then I can just lightly lift this to make sure it tucks underneath enough. So put those, I missed one. Put that down. All right, and then from the same material, which is the our background from our layered embellishments, we are going to cut a photo mat measuring 6.5 by 4.5, and this goes on layout 1. So we're going to cut from this, so my leftover area right here, 6.5 by 4.5. I can do that. 6.5 by 4.5. And I perfectly got it, so I didn't have to end up with part of this crease ending on my photo mat. So my piece is right here. So that was just what I was trying to avoid. And somehow one of my little guys got on there. He belongs over there. All right. We're gonna put pop dots on the back of our piece. Now I see that my piece, both sides are printed without that directions or, like, you know, marketing material. So you could use either side, but I'm just gonna stick with this green side. So I'm gonna put the pop dots on this side. And again, I'm just going for the corners and then down the middle. Super easy, kind of quick about it. Peel these off. This is like the only hard part, is getting all these tiny things off. All right, and then I'm grabbing my layout 1, which is our bicycle piece. And we are gonna want it just smack down in the middle. So I'm just gonna make sure it's straight, and I'll put it right here in the middle of my layout. Nice. So for our next step, we are actually going to use the back of our front ethereal cover sheet. And I've already cut mine, so I'm going to have to show you. This is the postcard sheet. So there's all these cute little postcards, and you'll probably get the hint that we want the one that's right here. And it's going to go right here in the corner of our first page. And I like to, you can tell what it is. Right here, it's tan, and it actually says Ralph April 1910. So that's how you know you have the right one. So when you cut that out with your trimmer, you might want to pause to do that. And you're going to use your adhesive to lift. You can use your fingers to lift this corner, and use your adhesive to tuck that and put it down flat. And just put that corner back where it goes. Next, we are going to use the same paper, the postcard paper, and remove the medium pink clock. So there was a pink clock right here. You're going to use your detail scissors. I use my Tim Holtz detail scissors. That's super handy. And you'll notice at first I cut apart the postcards from these smaller pieces just to make it easier to come in from the top and cut out that piece. Once you have that piece, you're going to glue it flat on your second layout, directly on top of the white lantern that's printed there. You do want to make sure your 12 is the correct way. You don't need to worry about gluing that lantern, covering up that lantern, because we will have another piece of the lantern that will get to have that piece back. So no need to fret about that. That's the first thing I thought about, was that beautiful lantern printed on the page. And what's wonderful about these 49 Market products is there's such beautiful background pages that you almost dare not to put too much on the backgrounds so you're not covering up. So I like that this page didn't have too much going on, that we have lots of room to work with our embellishments. So that is a super nice bonus. Next, we are going to get our layered embellishments. And I don't remember exactly which way it was. We're just going to have it go this way. I would like the piece that has 3 connected gears. So there's a green, a rust, and then another green. And you want to carefully pick it up, and you'll start to feel the pop dots behind them. So if you accidentally lose a pop dot, or you need an extra pop dot in a place, That's just where you can add one. And they're layered, so there's some on top of others just to give them better dimension. All right, and we are going to put that piece at the top left corner. Whoop, wrong page. Of our layout 1. So it's gonna go right here, and it's gonna kind of wiggle, so it's gonna go up and down. It's gonna wiggle in there. So let me find my layout. All right, and it's already got its pop dots, so I can just let it wiggle in just a little bit. And I kept a little vertical situation going and just making sure it's down good. So right there, you've already got a nice embellishment, so that's super nice. Next, from the postcard paper again, at the bottom, I'm gonna get this large pink clock. So I've already separated this, so I don't need that right now. But I'm gonna get this large pink clock down here with my detail scissors. And I know you can't always cut a perfect circle, which is totally fine, because by the time stuff gets layered on top of each other or tucked underneath something, you won't even notice. So you don't have to worry about that perfect circle. So what we're gonna do with this piece, which I think is kind of cool, is we're gonna go back to our 3 gears here. All right, and we're gonna take our large pink clock and we're going to pop dot it onto that large brown gear in the middle. And you might have seen that right here. So you see how it's been between it, but you have to keep in mind that it's also underneath these green gears. So we're gonna pop dot it onto the brown gear, so that's also tucked underneath the green gears. And you're also gonna make sure your clock is facing the correct way. So we're getting a clock instead of that large brown gear, which I think is kind of a cool little trick, because it makes it look like it's with the piece. So that's pretty many pop dots for this tiny piece. All right, and make sure my 12 is facing the correct way. Oh, there it goes. All right, and we're gonna tuck it. And it's kind of gonna fight you because you did put pop dots on it. And we're gonna lift. There we go. I can put it back. All right, that's super cool. So that's a little trick. It was a little hard to wrestle with it a little bit. That's totally fine though. All right, so now's the fun part. So we've got a majority of the background pieces down to add the shimmer. So in your kit, you received this little packet of goodies. I'm gonna open this and I'll explain the pieces. All right, first we're gonna set these to a side. We are gonna use this spray right here. So this is Nuvo Sparkle Spray, the Blush Burst color. So that is in your kit, so that's fun. And you're gonna remove the lid. The Sparkle Spray is like shimmer in a little container. You get a very pretty spray, and they're very vibrant colors. So we've got lots of other pretty colors, and I liked that this color blended in the Blush Burst with our background. So from a distance, because I do it too close, sometimes I get a ring or just a glob. So from a distance, I'm going to spray both of my backgrounds until I get the look I desire. So if you notice the difference real quick between these backgrounds, you could see my photo mat here and here. So you see there's a lot of spray on it. So you want to be generous in your spray. So I've got some on my gears and I've got some on my postcard, and kind of all around is what you're going for. So just be generous with your spray and just be careful, because it does tend to get over a large area around you. So from a distance, I'm just going to start spraying, and I might even want to take my instructions and put it underneath back here so I don't get it on something. All right, that's pretty good. So I did about 5 sprays on this one. And the farther back you go, the more spread out your spray is going to be. So I really like that one. And it's wet, so I don't want to move anything or try to touch anything because it will smudge and you'll notice the smudge. So that is that layout. And then I'll come back to my other layout, my layout 2. Whoop. All right, and I'll put my piece of paper. All right, and I'll spray from a distance. I know this sometimes can be kind of scary to do because it's like your one shot, but I find it quite exciting. Like you want to find more stuff to spray. So again, this is really wet that we want to set it aside to dry. But you'll see it makes a big difference on your layout compared to other projects without the spray. So you'll find yourself adding this to lots of other projects. And we even, similar to the sparkle spray, we even have Mica Mist, which is a bigger bottle with less shimmer in it. So it's more for a light background spray. This is more for a very vibrant background spray. So that's the difference between the Mica Mist and the sparkle spray. While that still dries, it just takes a minute. But I also want to explain, you've got your Nuvo glitter drops. So when we get to our flowers later, you'll see that we will brush on some glitter drops onto our flowers. If you want the glitter on your flowers, or if you want to accent them something else, you got a whole bottle for that. So that's such a cool bonus. And also from the manufacturer who has the Nuvo Sparkle Spray and the Nuvo Glitter Drops would be Tonic Studios. So I gave them a phone call and told them about our awesome class. And they have provided a little sample of our stone drops for free to include in y'all's kit. So that's a new product, is the Stone Drop Chalk White. That's super fun to work with. And instead of giving you a glittery finish like the glitter drop would, this gives you a matte finish and kind of looks rocky, kind of like the stone you may see on a wall or on a house. So that is super cool and such a nice, easy, free embellishment. So let me see how this is looking, because it does spray, it does dry fairly fast. It is, some of the glitter does come up on your finger. That's fine because it's just loose, but it should be mostly dry around the edge of your paper. And it will come on your finger, like I said, but that's totally fine because there's still shimmer there. But on your plastic pieces, like your photo mat here and your gears, it's going to take longer to dry because they are plastic pieces. So just keep that in mind as we are working and adding stuff. If we go to add some more things and your pieces are not sticking, you're going to want to maybe use a heat gun to dry it down a little bit more, and then try sticking it again. So that's just a little tip. So let me clean up my area. Now that I cleaned up my area, I'm going to pull out my layered embellishments again. And I'm going to get this piece that has a large green and a small brown gear. I guess a medium-sized gear. I'll just pick it up. I'm going to use my detail scissors to cut and separate these two pieces. So I have one green gear and one brown gear. So instead of cutting on this top layer, because that's no good, it's already loose by itself, I cut on the second layer. And I'm just gonna go inside. So it's underneath the green gear. All right, so you kind of don't see my cut there. You do see it over here, but it's gonna tuck, so that's okay. I'll set that piece aside. And I've got my green piece. And I do still spot a little bit of brown here on the corner. Let me just snip that. All right, and so I'm going to go to my layout 2. Right here, and we're going to place this piece at the top right corner of this bottom photo mat. So just right here in the corner, I'm gonna push it down to make sure it's good. If it comes up very loosely, that means your spray is not dry, but mine's good because it is not going anywhere. All right. I'm going to take my brown piece, my brown gear, and go to my first layout, and I'm going to tuck it where this bicycle wheel is. Just go straight in, enough to where you don't see any of that edge anymore, and place. So because I positioned this photo mat in the middle, that I was able to get that brown gear on top of that bicycle wheel, just like I did on my sample here. So that was kind of neat. All right, so that's where that goes. And again, if it didn't stick, then it's probably still not dry. All right, we can move on. From the cutout sheet included in the collection pack. So let me put this aside. So in your collection, you've got a cute cutout sheet where the pieces are already die cut for you. Right here. And I love this. It's not double-sided. The back is pink because you just want this side. But we're going to get a lot of pieces from here. They're all loosely cut, so they're just little snippets on each part. You have to cut the piece away. You'll see. But these are super nice because you don't have to do much die cutting. We're going to remove the center U-shaped flower wreath, okay? And to save you some time, we are going to cut this in half. So maybe while it's still in its backer, I'm going to lift up this bottom of it and cut it in half right there. All right, we're going to use the left piece, and that's going to get cut in half again. And I'll show you. So we do need this piece to come out anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of this left side piece out. So I'm just using my scissors. I said snippers. My scissors to snip away where it's still connected, because I don't want to risk just pulling on it. All right, I pulled out that left piece. I'm gonna set it right there. I'm gonna go to my first layout. And then from here, I'm gonna snip it at the half again. So I would say about half is right here. Oh, come on, right here. Actually right here before those double rosebuds. I'll just snip right there, just to create two pieces. So now that we cut in half, I'm going to use this top section, and I'm going to adhere it coming out of the left side of my photo mat, just like that. And you can tuck it in as far as you want, because some people don't want so much greenery. But I'm probably going to leave it just like that, and it's going to overlap that postcard a little bit. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue here just to get glue on my major parts, just a little bit, because it's a tiny little sucker. And I'm going to tuck in and stick. Now, since I'm feeling fancy, I will get some of my super tiny pop dots and put these pop dots underneath the major flowers of this piece. So like behind here, except I already put glue there, so that wasn't very smart. Okay, and maybe another one underneath this one over here, just to give it a little bit of rising dimension on this branch piece. That's kind of cool. All right, now back to your cutout sheets. We're looking for the long arrangement of pink and yellow flowers at the top right. That would be this piece right here. So we're going to pull that piece out. Oh. Yeah, sometimes it pulls off, and sometimes I prefer to just use my scissors. Nice. Okay, set this aside. All right, this one is going at the bottom left of our page. And you'll see, let me show you. You'll see right here where that piece is. Because there's already those yellow flowers at the bottom, it's just gonna overlap those flowers to make it look like there's more flowers here. And it makes them come off the page a little bit just by adding this piece. And it will overlap your postcard a little bit, and that's totally fine. So we're gonna pop dot this one. Whoop. All right, not too many because we kind of want it to look natural. Okay, and last one. All right, and I said we're gonna put it just right here at the bottom, and it's kind of flow up and overlap the postcard. So we're just sticking those down. And that looks pretty good. So your flowers that are printed here are kind of becoming more vivid and more eye-catching because of this one flower we put down. So that's super cool. I like that. All right, now we are looking back at our cutout sheets for the small branch with 4 circular leaves that's at the bottom. So that's going to be right here. So there's another one next to it, but this one is smaller. So this is the one we want. So pull that one out. All right, it's a little piece, be careful. So we're going to adhere it so that it is coming out of the left side of the photo mat, just above the postcard. All right, so that, what all those words meant was it's going right here between the flowers and the gear, and it's still tucking in, flowing and overlapping and do whatever. So I'm going to put glue on these top 2 leaves, and then I'm going to put pop dots on the bottom 2 leaves. And you'll see why. So it's going to tuck in, and it's going to pop down on top of that piece, and then that gear right there. And it flows down. And it may even not even need glue because it's just flowing downward. That guy needs a little more glue. But we put a pop dot on these back 2 because so this one can stand out along with this other one that we pop dotted behind it, and so that it can attach the gear nicely. So, and I'll just fix that guy. All right, moving on back to our cutout sheets. We're looking for the long arrangement of pink flowers at the top left. That would be this one right here. Let's pull that out. That's all right. I just cut it like that. All right. Move that. So adhere so that it is coming out of the left side of the photo mat, overlapping the postcard and the circular leaves. So this is just another piece that's going in. So we're just putting it in right here. So we did the pink flowers, and then we did the circular leaves, and then we're doing more pink flowers. So we just want that to kind of go on top and flow on top of it. So I'm actually going to just put glue at random spots where I know it's going to stick good and just keep it from going anywhere. Right here. And it's okay that I have to get glue somewhere else because it is dry as clear glue. Let me make sure you can see, okay. And then one more up here. Nice. That's a fun little arrangement on the left. If you so choose, you could also pick, if it was too much of the pink, you could also pick that little smaller branch right there at the top. So again, from this cutout sheet, we also need the heart with the rope at the top. Now this is a fragile piece because we still want the rope to be attached to the heart, but if it comes apart, you can just make it like, you can glue it down like it's still attached. So there's always a fix for things like these. So I'm just pulling out the heart with the rope. And this one's gonna be another little trick. Here's a little centerpiece. I don't need that. Okay, good. I kept it intact that time. I'm gonna put a pop dot behind this piece. I just put one because it's just a little heart. And we're actually going to cover up the existing heart that you see here on the paper. So I'm going to tuck it underneath and make sure it overlaps perfectly. See, that looks so cute. So we really let that heart with the rope stand out on this page. So back to here of the cutout sheet. You now need the medium branch with 4 circular leaves at the left side. That's going to be this branch right here. And I love how detailed I made these instructions for you guys because it makes it easy to follow along. And if you're confused, you're getting exactly what piece you need and exactly where it needs to go. So that's super awesome. All of our kits are like that. All right, we got the medium branch. We're gonna pop dot this to come out of the brown plastic gear. I'll show you. So this piece is actually going to tuck into the brown gear and flow across the top the best it can. So we're going to put pop dots behind these pieces. And you don't have to worry about the little branch that's connecting the circular leaves. You just worry about the leaves. Okay. Whoop. Sometimes these things are just not my favorite. All right. Oops, I wiped. All right. So I'm going to tuck it into that's coming out of that brown gear and flowing up. That's kind of cute. All right, back to we're not done with our cutouts yet. We now want the single red flower at the bottom left. That's right here. Pull that out. We're going to here on top next to the topmost circular leaf. So we're going to make a little flower bunch, but first we have to put the single one down. So you might see it right there. Or it might be turned a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Right there, right next to that top circular leaf. So we're going to adhere it flat just to give that flower dimension when we put it down. Just like that. All right. Then we're gonna go back to our cutout sheet one more time, and we're gonna get the double red flower at the bottom left. Oh, that came out really easy. And we're gonna pop dot this piece. See, that just needed one. And we're going to make it so the greenery is gonna go down and it's gonna kind of snuggle and just like that. All right, so next we're going to get our layered embellishments. We're going to remove the large brown leaf stem at the bottom right here. So I know I see another larger one, but I'm going with this one right here. I just have to pull it up. Easy peasy. And I'm going to place it so it's coming out of the bottom of the photo mat. So that is going to go kind of diagonally. I'm going to tuck it right here. Y'all couldn't see, that was funny. I'm going to tuck it right here and let it flow downwards. So it's kind of an odd spot to explain. So just at face value, we tucked it a little bit from the corner and let it float a bit diagonally downwards. Then back to our layered embellishments. We are getting the large flower bundle in the middle, removing only the flower bundled, leaving the glitter behind. Because we already put glitter on our page with our sparkle spray. So we're just leaving that glitter accent behind and getting that large piece. And we're gonna place at the top right of the photo mat, letting it tuck in. So I'm actually gonna have these other petals face upward. And because it's layered, I'm gonna let the photo mat fit between the two pieces. So I snuggle it between, make sure it still fits on the page, and push down. So that looks pretty nice. So now we're going to use our Wildflowers mushroom color. So that's this color right here. I'm going to open it. And I love the variety in these flowers. I'm actually looking for the light brown double flowers on a stem. So I might just end up taking some of them out right here just to get to it in the back. Okay, so this light double flower on a stem. We're gonna place this so that it is straight up and down along this right edge of the photo mat, but also a little slanted so the stem can tuck underneath. All right, so I'm gonna tuck this in. And you see how those are? They're kind of layering over that layered embellishment up there. And just to keep it safe down here, you can use glue or a pop dot. And because they are flowers that need to stay in place, I'm going to use a pop dot. So I'll just put one. It doesn't really need much to stay put, so I'll put one underneath that top one and stick it to that layered embellishment. So you see it's kind of slanted but still tucked in. Again, from these wildflower mushrooms, I want the darker 2 flowers on a stem. We're gonna stick that straight into the side. And this is why we put pop dots, only try to do along the middle of the back of our photo mat, so that we were able to stick these things in without too much hassle. So I let this left flower cover up that stem area right there of that first flower. So that's a little trick right there. And I'll use a pop dot on this right flower so it keeps that whole stem in place. All right, let's move on. Next page. Okay, select one of the large dark brown flower assortments. There are 2 of them in your packet. They're both exactly the same, so I'm just gonna pick one. And we're going to adhere at the bottom left of the photo mat. So if you see on our sample, we're gonna end up with the mushroom on the left and the scarlet on the right. So they're just gonna go right next to each other, sort of. Now, I like to first pop dot this down. It does say adhere, but because I'm also lazy, I'm gonna pop dot these down. It keeps it from moving. You don't have to worry about glue kind of getting all over this flower, because what we're gonna do next, okay, I like that spring thing to face diagonally left. And right here at the corner, we'll go a little bit down. All right, perfect. Now, because this has been sitting in my package and just kind of hanging out for a while, I'm gonna manually fluff up these petals just slightly just to bring him back to life a little bit. All right, then we're gonna grab from the Wildflower Scarlet collection, which is the same Wildflower collection, just a different color, and it's scarlet. We're gonna get the medium assortment of small, dark, and light pink double flowers. So that is going to be this guy. So I call this an assortment because it's got the light and the dark, just like here, but it's also put together with some leaves and little stamen there, so that's nice. We are going to insert into the right side of the photo mat in between the dark and brown flowers and brown gear adhere. All right, so so basically all that was insert right here, and it's overlapping that brown a little bit and our gear. That's totally good. And we're gonna make sure it stays in place by putting a pop dot underneath this top section, making sure it stays and doesn't try to come back with me, and push it down. All right, so that sucker is not, well, we'll put another one. It should not be going anywhere. It doesn't take much because remember those pop dots in the middle are catching the ends of these stems and holding them in place. So as long as you don't try to tip this one away or another. If you do want to make sure these are down, you probably can put some liquid adhesive along the stem before you put it in, and at the base here would be a good idea. All right, and then again from the Scarlet Flowers, we're going to select one of the large flower assortment. So it's just like the mushroom color. I'm going to put 2 pop dots behind here, just like we did before. Peel those off. And it's gonna go down here in this other corner. And I don't want to totally cover up my piece down here. Let's see. Just like that. That's nice. And because part of it's also sitting on this layered embellishment down here, it's gonna puff up more than the other one, but that's totally fine. And again, we're going to play with the petals a little bit to fluff them up. All right, and I see it's a little wiggly, so I'll put another pop dot over here. Nice, okay. Now, here's a fun little thing from my layered embellishments. There's these little bubbles. They're just little circles that you'll find randomly here. We also have these separately called wishing bubbles. So if you're only looking for bubbles, we have wishing bubbles in all kinds of colors. But I'm just gonna pick, it says 5 small dark brown circles or wishing bubbles, and randomly place them around my layout where it needs a little bit more stuff. So like over here by my heart, I'll select another small one next to my gear. Another small one, put down here in that empty space. That's 3. Here's a 4th one down here, and a 5th one. I'll pick up a little bigger one, and just go for right here. So that's super cool. And then I am going to get some of my my U-circle branch that we cut out, and this was the other half that we cut. I'm going to insert this into the right and adhere it, and then put some pop dots maybe under this larger flower up here just to keep it elevated. But that's what we're going to do with that piece, because that was probably sitting around your desk. Okay, and we're going to insert right here and just kind of let it flow right like that. That's nice. All right, and then now we're going to use the white blizzard that was included, And I'm gonna add glitter to my petals of my flowers. Okay, and you can always add more glitter to your flowers over here, but I'm just gonna do the major flowers and the double flowers on the right. And you can use a paintbrush. I'm just gonna use my finger here, so I will put some on the flower petals, and then I will spread it out. Add some more. So this is kind of a fun, easy way to spruce these up. It's actually taking a lot more than I'm thinking, so spread it out. And the nice thing about this glitter drop is the glitter is gonna dry with kind of a texture that you can feel the glitter after it's dry. So that's super cool that you can see and feel your glitter accent. So that's just another little something. So I'm getting a lot on these petals because it seems like my finger wants to soak up the glitter. Let's see. Go around. Oh, that one was good. And you probably don't notice it as much on my camera, but you will on your layout. And you're gonna find yourself tempted to add more in more places. So that's super fun. So go around here. You don't have to overdo these tiny ones because then they'll get a little too drenched in the glitter. And a lot goes a long way with those. So I bet you're really liking this glitter right about now. And I know the people that don't like the glitter on their petals, they're like, nope, skipping that. But you might really like it. It's really easy to do. And again, you can even use a little paintbrush if you don't want to get it on your finger, because I know we already got our spray everywhere earlier. Nice. And I'll just do a little bit more back here. Nice. Okay, kind of skipped that one. All right, so you could even keep going with this all over the place if you wanted. But you've got a whole bottle here, and I probably only used up 1/8 of it. So that's pretty awesome. And that makes this layout done. And we're gonna finish up the second page. So you finish up that, and I'm gonna move my papers around. So if you didn't know, while you're finishing up your glitter, that Creative Creations, we are a small family-owned company. So if you ever see us at the shows, maybe next year, it will be me and my mom and my sister at the show. So it's super fun and something we love to do, and we get to, you know, do the job that you love and enjoy. So you get to craft and you get paid to craft. So it's fun. And so we'll finally get to teach you a class in person. So that's a double bonus. So now we're moving on to finishing our layout too. So we're gonna have that in front of you. Remember, we put the clock and the gear and we sprayed. So that's all we did so far on this one. All right, so now you got this in front of you. We're going to get our cutout sheet. And we're gonna get the single large branch with the pink flower. So let's pull that piece out. All right, so we're going to here at the top right of the layout, directly on top of these printed flowers. And then we're going to pop dot the single pink flower on here. So let us, let us get our pop dot, put our single pop dot. Oh, you know what? Mine is too big. I'm going to cut this just in half. There you go. And place it up at the top here. Oh, Galen. All right. And then glue is going to go on the rest. And that's a very tiny stem. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have it flow from that top right corner. If I can get my pop dot to stay. And if you don't like this, you can totally use a different branch piece from the leftover branch pieces. Okay, so here's our branch pieces that are printed, and it's going to start right at the middle and flow outwards, just like that. All right, so we're gonna fix that in a minute, so don't worry. Back to your cutout sheets, you're going to get the 2 single yellow flowers on the right. So that's this one right here and that one right there. We're going to pull those out. Come on. And the other one. These little buggers. All right. We're gonna put pop dots behind these. So just 1 per each because they are tiny. All right. And we are going to overlap the printed flowers down here in the corner. So this one I'm gonna have go straight up. So there's some printed, what we can't even see. Oh, that was a good one. So down here, there's some printed flowers. I'm gonna have this one go straight up over the one that's printed there. All right, and the other one, there's not really a flower over here. There's just a giant one, but we're gonna have it overlap. It's still going to the left a bit. Oh, I guess I can show you a little closer. All right. Next step, we're going back to our laser cut sheets. We're gonna get the key that is on the left side over here. And it's going to adhere directly on top of the key printed at the left of the layout. So we're covering it up. Try not to bend my key. There we go. So we had a key here that's printed on our layout and then we sprayed and it kind of got left in the dust there. Mine's a bit quite covered up. So I'm going to adhere this directly over it. Now it is a little bit bigger, but we're going to center it the best we can and it will look perfect. So this is very thin, so I'm going to be careful about putting glue. I'm going to say I'm going to be careful, but then I'm not. All right, and I'm going to put it right on top of the key printed. Then it makes it stand out from all the glitter, so that's super cool. All right, back to our laser cutouts. We now, like I said, we'll need the lantern in the middle here. And it's going to pop dot directly on top of where the lantern was before. So let's pull it out of here. All right, that was pretty easy. And we're gonna pop dot it, and because it's got thin sides, I'm gonna put a pop dot here at the top and half a pop dot here at the bottom corner. Peel those off. And you'll recall we covered up that lantern with that paint clock and then we sprayed. So to make this lantern stand out, it's going to go right on top of the clock and be exactly on top of where the printed one was, and stick. All right, so you don't really need much for that one. If you want to put another half of a pop dot in this other corner to keep it supported, I'd totally do that. All right, so let's see what else. Now we need the smaller open butterfly in the middle. So that is, let's see, the smaller open butterfly, where are we putting it? Pop dot at the top of the lantern. Oh, yeah, that guy. So right here at the bottom of the lantern, there's a small butterfly that has his wings more open. So we want that one. Every time I'm like, you can do it. You can come out. All right, and we're gonna pop dot at the top of the lantern. So we'll stick one of my pop dots on him. Peel the packer. And we're gonna make it look like that he is resting on our lantern up here. Just like that, and I can show you that a little bit closer. Let's see, can we get even closer? Let's see. There we go. That's better. All right. And then again from our laser cutouts, we got a lot of laser cutouts here. We want the single red flower at the bottom right. So that will be this one right here. All right. And we're going to pop dot at the left side of the photo mat, tucking it in. So here's my pop dot. And I got to look at my sample. So at the left side, oh, I see. So where the lantern is, we're going to go into the odd side of our flower, goes into behind the photo mat and place. That was easy. That's a cute little spot for that flower. All right, from the layered embellishments, let's see. I always lose track of which side is up on this thing. All right, from the layered embellishments, we need the layered pink flower on the left side. Where is that going? Place directly on top of the stem at the top right corner, covering flower. Oh, that tells us which way this goes. So right here, here's a pink flower that's layered, has a smaller pink flower on top of it. We're gonna pull that one up. And we're gonna do a little trick because we put that single flower stem to come from those printed flowers, and you could see the end of your stem up here. There's a flowers printed on the paper there in a bushel. We're going to put our bushel right over the existing one. And it's going to cover up the end of that flower stem in that bushel. So that's super cute. All right, back to our layered embellishments now that we figured out what direction it goes. We need the double gear set. Let's see, the double gear set at the bottom. That's right here. We're going to pick that up. We're going to place coming out of the right side of top photo mat. So this brown one is layered. So you know we like to put the photo mat between the two layered pieces. It's going to go on the right side of this upper photo mat. And it likes to stick while you're moving. And it's just going to stay vertical. And push. All right. And remember, if your pop dots do come off of your layered embellishments, you just put your own new pop dots straight on there. So that's super cool. And if you don't like the layered look, you just peel it off, and the same exact printed image is right below it on the next plastic piece. All right, so again, from the layered embellishments, we want the small leaf stem at the top. Small leaf stem at the top. Place tucking into the double gear set. Let's see. Oh, we probably turned it the wrong way. That's what happened. Okay, so here's two leaf stems right here next to each other. I want this very right side one. All right. I'm pretty sure you've turned this thing a couple times, so I might have got confused which way was up when I was writing these directions. All right, we're going to place this so it's coming out of this green gear, just like that. That was super easy. We're going to get another single leaf, and it's going to come out of the right side of the bottom photo mat, directly underneath the green gear. Oh, I see. Okay, so we want this other leaf this time. This one is going to come down here at the bottom, behind, and kind of face diagonal and stick. All right. Then I want to get a single leaf right there. I know both of those are kind of the same, so it doesn't really matter. A single leaf, and it's going to come from our gear right here and stick. So now our gear's a flower. Not sure where that came from, but it works. All right, you want the long brown circular leaf stem at the right side. So here is a long circular leaf stem. Let's pick that long piece up. And it's going to place coming out of the right side of the bottom photo mat, overlapping the single leaf. All right, so it's going to tuck right in this little corner between the single leaf and the photo mat. It's going to flow down. And remember I showed you about when it's layered, we want the photo mat to go between the layered pieces. So I have a layered piece here in the middle. So the back of my stem went inside between the single leaf and the photo mat. Then my layered piece snuggles between, and the rest of it flows downward. And then here towards the end, I think I'm going to pick up this bottom leaf so that my brown leaf tucks behind it. So it was laying on top, so I just made it go behind it right there. I might have to adjust a little bit and stick. So that's how we got that long piece in there. And it really takes care of that right side, but without being too busy. So that's kind of nice. All right, we need a short brown pointed leaf stem at the right. Where is this going? Place coming out of the top left corner of the top photo mat. Yes, okay, so there's this little off brown leaf stem right here towards the middle-ish area. I'm gonna pick that piece up. Oh, mine was broken. That's cool. I must have accidentally cut it. And we're gonna place it like it wasn't broken, but it's gonna go up here in the top corner, coming out of this top photo mat, just like that. So see how quickly I fixed my piece. So that's what's nice about these, is I was able to make it look like it was together. So I guess I accidentally snipped it at some point. All right, then I need the, let's see what we got here. Long ones with glitter leaves. Okay, so I need the long brown circular leaf stem at the top right with the glittered leaves, but remove only the leaf stem, leaving the glittered leaves behind. Oh, we've done that before. So I'm leaving the glitter piece behind and just picking up the circular leaf stem. All right, place at the top of the top photo mat, tucking in a bit. So this is going to, remember about the layered pieces, it's going to tuck right here, and it's gonna flow right and up a little bit. So it's tucked here, was flowing towards the right, but then I notched it up just a little bit. All right. And I have wonderful pictures in there for you guys, so I'm very proud of that. All right, now we do our flowers. So for our wildflower mushrooms, which is the brown color, we're gonna select the remaining large dark brown flower assortment and adhere at the top of the bottom photo mat. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, so we've got our other large assortment. So I'm gonna put pop dots behind that piece, wherever they keep disappearing to. We know this one. Okay, and then peel those off. Man. If only there was someone that would sit here and peel these off. That would be half the trouble. All right, and I'm gonna put it to where these two photo mats meet in this upper area. But I don't wanna cover up my gear here too much. If you do end up covering that gear up too much, you could, remember, because it's layered embellishments with the pop dots, you can pick that up and scooch it up just a little bit so it's out of the way. And it looks like mine is doing that. So I will, yeah, I probably will scooch it up just a little bit, just like that. And I foresaw that happening. And then it goes right here in the corner. And that large spring thing that hangs out is facing towards the top right corner. You don't want that large spring thing facing on your photo mat. That's why we have it going anywhere else but there. We're gonna bring our flowers to life a little bit. I mean, our petals. That looks good. All right, you're gonna get the medium assortment of light brown and dark brown flowers. So that's gonna be this little fun assortment. That's super cute. You're going to insert into the opposite corner and adhere. So we've just placed in this corner. So now we're going to insert in the opposite corner. And it's going to go straight in. And we don't want our flowers to go underneath our photo mat. So we're going to go as far as we can without them freaking out and adhere. So I'm going to use Pop Dots, little magic trick instead of getting glue everywhere to get this to stay put right there. And we'll put another one up here, I think. Peel it. Nice. Nice. Okay. We're going to get one of the spiky stems. All three are the same. So you see my spiky stems. That was the name for it. 49 Market doesn't name her pieces, so we come up with our own name. So these are spiky stems. We have 3. They're all the same. So I'm just going to choose one for no random reason. Insert into the photo mat directly on the left side of the assortment adhere. So here is our flower assortment, and it's going to insert next to it on the left side. Insert, and actually mine is not really moving. I'm going to give it a Pop Dot underneath the big bushel part. We can pull that out. You're probably like, can she make up her mind about what she wants? But right here and stick. Nice. It's not going anywhere, that piece. All right. Then we want another spiky stem. So we're just selecting a spiky stem. And I like to spike it up a little bit by spreading out its things just a little bit. All right. And you're going to insert just below the single red flower at left side of top photo mat. So what that is saying, I'm going to put my Pop Dot before I stick it in back here so it can hide. Peel that off. Okay. And that's going to go below our red flower on the left here. And I kind of want to go in a bit diagonally. Oh. All right, so my stem is a bit long to get all the way through there. So I'm going to trim it about, I moved it out of the camera, that was good. About half. And then retry. Okay, that's good. So it goes right there. And we're going to spike it up. There you go. That's nice. And as you mess with your project a little bit more, you can get your petals to move more outward and your little spiky stems to be a little more spikier. All right, from our scarlet flowers, we need the light pink double flowers on a stem. That is this piece. And adhere just between the large brown flower assortment and the green gear above the bottom photo mat. So that is going to go up here. And you go as far, nope, I gotta trim it. Looks like right here. Gonna go down right here. That's good. And I'll put a Pop Dot on that top petal. Or I mean behind the top petal, my bad. All right, that's nice. Now we need a dark pink double flowers on a stem. That is going to be this piece right here. You're going to insert into the bottom of the top photo mat, just to the right of the brown flower assortment. So that means it's going down. I already can predict it's going to be too long. So we're going to cut that. And we're going to stick down here just to hang out with this group. Okay. And I'm going to put a Pop Dot underneath that bottom petal, if it would like to stay today. And it's not going anywhere. Select the remaining large dark pink flower assortment. That would be this big guy right here. And adhere at the bottom left corner of the top photo mat. So it is going to go right here. So let's put our Pop Dots on. And again, you can use regular glue. We're just doing the lazy version. I'm all for the shortcut lazy version. So I'm really enjoying how these flowers look, especially since we picked them out to look nice next to each other, the colors. Okay, so this look goes right here at the corner and push. And again, that long swirly thing right there is facing outward. All right, from the layered embellishments, we're going to select 5 circles, the bubbles like we spoke about. All right, and it doesn't totally matter about the size, but there are ones that are like super big. So if you'll see these like really big ones, so I would try to avoid those because they try to get the attention of the page, and you just want these smaller dark brown ones that aren't asking for too much attention. So we'll put one up here in the corner. Let's find another one. Here's one. I got one over here next to it. Here's a small one. I'll put it up here between the lantern and that leaf. I'll put another one next to right here. And let's see, I know there's another one on here, I just can't see it. Oh yeah, they're over here hiding. And I'll put it down here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and my 5th one down here at the bottom. All right, we're gonna use our glitter drops again to add glitter to our flowers. I forgot to fluff up my petals over here. All right. And we learned the first time that it does take up a lot of glitter on these bigger ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that just to save time. And then spread with my finger. Already, I think spreading this already makes it look good. You can I even like to rub my finger across those little stamens in the middle just to give it a little something if there's anything on my finger. Let's see. Because those are glossy stamen in the middle, so it's not really gonna stick, but it will to the petals. And we'll get just a little bit of our mini flowers down here. We're so close. All right. Oh, nice. And even if you accidentally like keep swiping your finger too much and get some on your page, that's totally fine. Because remember, we sprayed glitter. So you're just adding to it. All right, so that looks good. I still got 3/4 of my bottle here. So that's so nice that you got that. And then our last step here is to attach our titles, which came in your kits. And I can find mine. It's a Treasured Memories. So let me show you. I put both of my layouts here. That looks so good. I'm gonna open up my titles packet. Now we did decide to leave this brown because it tied in the browns on the pages. But you can even ink your title or paint it with gesso to make it white, and then paint it with a different color. You know, whatever floats your boat. You can also use, oh my goodness, you can also use a Nuvo glitter marker. Then you have a shimmery title. I don't know if that's gonna be too much shimmer on a page. So I'm just cutting the backer away from my title piece. And these titles are actually from Dusty Attic, where we get a lot of our beautiful and pretty words. This is super nice. And I'm just pulling the backer. I know this takes a little bit of time, but it's totally fine. Okay, there's my Treasured. All right, set that down here. And my Memories. Now these Memories I'm noticing is individual letters, so that's going to take a little more time. But to explain and wrap up, if you notice on your picture on your instructions, because remember I said yours might end up different, I had 2 empty spaces down here in my corners, and that's where I would put treasured and then memories. And then somehow I ended up with not very much space on mine, so I could put my treasured maybe down here in this bottom corner, and then my memories along this bottom left corner as well on my other page. So depending on where you have the space is where you'll put your titles. So that's super awesome. And if you have any other questions about these amazing layouts or our other classes, you can see how it's pretty close to my example here. So that's super nice. This is where I was talking about. So your treasured can go down here. On this sample I could have, or on my other one, my treasured can go down here. And then my memories is really anywhere along the bottom. So if any questions about this layout, or if you're interested in our other classes, you can give us a call or message us on Facebook or through our website. So we hope you really enjoyed this class and you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.